pursue your purpose because you do have one. If anything, I want you to take from this video is that you do have a purpose and you were created on purpose. Whether you believe it or not in this moment doesn't make a difference. You wouldn't be here breathing and listening to this video if you did not have purpose. So, and I fully believe that and stand 10 toes down on that without even knowing who you are. So, hey friend, welcome back to From Pieces to Purpose. I am your host, Justice, and here I am helping you heal from heartbreak, build up your confidence, get your power back, and go out and live on purpose for a purpose. I want to get right into it. First of all, new setup. Hello. Do we like that? How do we feel about this? If you hear construction, this will be the only episode that you'll hear that construction because I will not record down here again. And if you hear my son, this is just going to be the vibe, okay? I'm in your house, Justice. I'm on your couch with you. We're having a conversation. That's what this will be. Did you know that you can pursue purpose right where you are? Like today, right now, you can pursue your purpose. You can discover what your purpose is. If you're anything like me, y'all know I like to talk about myself. I like to give this analogy when I talk about this time in my life where I felt like I had to stand still because I was waiting on God to literally come down into my bedroom and tell me what he created me to do. That's what I wanted to happen. And so while I was waiting for that moment, I described myself as a parked car. I had the ability to drive, I got the keys, the car is starting, but I'm parked because I'm waiting for him to come down into my room and tell me exactly, explicitly what he created me to do. If you are a parked car listening right now, this episode is for you. So my fellow parked cars are people who are multi-passionate people who have, multiple gifts and talents, multiple interests, are very successful, purpose-driven people. This select hub of people tend to feel like there's multiple lanes, but they are parked waiting for permission to pick a lane because we just can't pick and we can't possibly try to do them all. And we do try to do them all. But when you think about a parked car in front of all of these lanes, it's like you need to go. You need to pick a lane. You need to give God something to work with. And that's the first thing I want to let you know, my fellow parked car. You got to give God something to work with. You got to start moving. And not picking a lane is crippling to your purpose because you're created to do things, not just one thing, but you are created for something. But if you stay parked and idle and just experiencing life and just existing, you'll never know what that thing is if you stay parked. So when I say give God something to work with, that means pick something. Pick a thing. And when you decide to pick a thing, go all in on that thing, but make sure that it connects with you and it's authentic to what you really want to do and it's not what other people tell you to do. That's a whole nother conversation, but make sure it's your thing. But when you choose it, go all in. The next thing I would tell you is you're going to find that as you start this journey, you're going to start to hear these beliefs. You're going to start to run headfirst into these beliefs that you have been on record, playing in your mind. This is the time where you talk back to those things that tell you that you're not enough, that you're not worthy. The voice that tells you, who are you to start the business? Who are you to come out here and be debt free, be an entrepreneur and help women and be an authority? Those voices, we need to say something back to those voices because we're going to hear them and we're going to continue to hear them, right? What are you saying back? Are you agreeing or are you saying, I am worthy, I am enough, I deserve to be here, I'm going to do this, this is going to be successful, God did create me to do this thing, and so I'm going to go out and do the thing. You got to talk back to those voices. Don't let those voices shrink you and make you feel like you weren't called and created to do the thing that you feel you were called and created to do, because that's not true. The devil is a liar. No, you absolutely were called to do the thing. It's in here. It's already in you. We need to dust the dust off, shake you up a bit and remind you of who you are and say, okay, imposter syndrome, I hear you, but I'm gonna still go out here and do this anyway. Watch me do the thing. Watch me fail and still try and continue do the thing. And speaking of fear, let's talk about fear. Don't let fear punk you into a corner. We don't want fear to be like Debo from Friday. Y'all know Debo from Friday. If you don't, now I got to let me paint the picture for you. For those of you that have not watched Friday, Debo was your neighborhood bully. Okay, he was just a bully. He was big, stocky, neighborhood bully. He rolls up on said main characters. Debo, that's his name, by the way, if you don't know. It's crazy that I'm like giving you the play-by-play. Okay. Debo rose up on his bike up to Chris Tucker and Ice Cube. Also, Ezell. He punks this grown man out of a gold chain. This gold chain meant something to him, was valuable to him, was given to him by his grandmother. I'm trying to paint the picture of what fear can do to you, but here is the thing about fear. Fear is going to be there. You're going to be afraid, but we cannot allow fear to paralyze us, to keep us from doing something. Fear exists to protect you. We are so complex in our human makeup that our brain has the ability to protect us. And so fear's job is fear is employed with the protection department. Okay. The manager of the protection department is fear. You just got to remind fear, hey, I got this one. I hear you. I got you. It's okay. I know we're afraid, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to try. And say you try something, right? Fear says, don't do that. You try something and it fails. And fear is like, see, I told you not to do that because now you're XYZ. It's now your responsibility to have that conversation with fear and say, yes, you're right. That was probably not the best way to go about doing it. Let's try it. Let's try again. Like, it's your responsibility to remind fear that doesn't mean I'm not going to go continue to try. I'm going to just try it differently next time and move a little different. That's all that is. I like to think of it like it's part of the protection department. Like it serves its purpose in certain circumstances, but not at all. And we get to discern when we can utilize the folks in the protection department, right? So with that being said, do not let fear keep you parked and still. Put that car into drive, pick a lane, and say, fear, get in the back seat. We're going for a ride, okay? All right, parked cars, I got something else for you. I want you to also seek what is purposeful, not popular. When you think about your purpose and why you were created, think about what connects with you and who you are. And obviously a caveat to this is you got to know who you are. You gotta know you through and through, the good, bad, ugly, in between. You gotta know you. Let me give you an example. For a very long time, I thought photography was my thing. God, you created me to be a photographer. That is my thing. I'm so good at it and I'm getting better at it. And that's my thing. Realized through some deep conversations with myself and with God and journaling and just thinking about asking myself that same question. What connects? What part of photography connects with you, Justice? Because you pick it up and put it down so easily. And I've realized there's something about it that does not connect. And it's not something about it does, but something about it doesn't. So something about photography connected to me. It was the aspect of storytelling. I really enjoy it. I love hearing other people's stories. I'm curious about people. I really believe in the power of storytelling and how it changes lives and in sharing your testimony. The Bible is full of stories. And so I really connect with storytelling. And so I'm like, I can take that aspect with me, but leave the rest of photography. You're in your parked car state and you're thinking about these different lanes that you have in front of you, these different passion projects and things that you desire to do. Think about what fully connects with who you are. Think about what it is that you do that you really enjoy doing, but that also is impactful to the world, right? To your world, the good that you plan to leave behind once you're no longer here. So when I think about myself, I'm like, okay, I enjoy storytelling. I can do that through podcasting. I can tell my own story. Eventually, in an interview style, share other people's stories on my platform. I can help other people by telling my story and teaching them the things that I had to learn through my story. I could utilize storytelling in my own way, but something that connects with me, that makes sense to me, that's authentic to me, that I don't feel forced and I'm trying to like be this super creative, artsy person, because I can be creative and not have to feel like I'm performing to be artsy. And I felt like that with photography, that I was super creative vibe, like she's dope and she's creative. Like it wasn't that I wasn't that, but I wasn't that. And part of me was trying to be that along with being gifted in photography. And so I realized, what's more authentic to you, Justice? It's storytelling. Okay, how do we use that, but in our own way, in our own vibe, with knowing who I am? All right, so the last thing, and most importantly, y'all, you need to get a vision. You need to get a vision for your life. You need to figure out, what do I want? And why do I want it? Not because it's popular, but because it's purposeful. What do I want? How much money do I want to make? Is it the number that I'm searching for, or is it the financial freedom, like the lifestyle of being able to do what I want and make my own schedule, but still like make an impact in the world? Like, what do I care about? And why do I care about those things? Do I want to take care of my family? What type of family do I want to have? Do I want to have a bunch of kids? Do I want to just have one kid? Do I want to be married, or do I want to date? Get a vision for your life and what you want. Because right now, if you're parked, it's because there is a lot of indecision, confusion, and fear. It's all of that. It's keeping you here because you're saying, I'm confused because I don't know what I'm called and created to do. Or I think it's this, but it could also be this. So I'm confused. So that's why I'm parked. I'm afraid to do the thing. That's why I'm parked. Or I'm afraid if I choose the wrong thing. Whatever it is, if you had a vision for what you wanted your life to look like, that can be your map, your destination. That's what you plug into the GPS and say, God, this is together, collaborate together. This is where we're going. I'm not saying create the vision separate from God. Please do. Get a vision from the Lord on what it is that you're called and created to do. But with that, what does that look like? Get that on paper. You put that in the GPS, and now you can steer the thing. You know when to turn left, when to turn right. You know where you're supposed to go because you have a vision. Oh, and shameless plug. I have a vision planning guide that I created that you can write down your why. And it's broken up into a few different sections and ask you a few prompt questions to get you started. Writing down that vision that's in your heart or in your mind. Wherever your vision is stored right now, if it's not on paper, it's not on paper. So let's get it on paper. And I created something that can help get you started with that. So I will link that below in the show notes if you're listening, in the description box if you're watching. I hope it helps. Let me know if it helps. But if you're saying to yourself right now, because I know I can hear you in the spirit right now saying to yourself, Justice, I don't know what I want to do. I have no idea. I have no clue. I don't even know where to start. I don't know what gifts I have. I don't know what I'm good at. I'm not good at anything really. I'm just here. Perfect. You are in the perfect spot. Why? Because you can try everything. As a creative, this is like, I'm jealous of you. You can now try a bunch of different things. I want you. This is your homework. This is how you're going to piece it together. Piece It Together is a part of the show where we piece it together. We take what we've learned here on the episode in our actual real lives and we piece it together and apply some type of activity, question, journal, whatever it is, so that way we can practical, actionable steps and things we can do after listening and watching. If you are someone who does not know, have no clue what you're called to do and why you're called to do it, if you're a parked car, listen to this right now and have no lanes in front of you, this is for you. I want you to make a list. Make a list of things that you can see yourself doing. So when you close your eyes, ask yourself, can I see myself being fill in the blank? Now here's the thing, because I can hear you in the speaker. I can just hear you right now saying like, I can't think of anything. Okay, let's try something right now. Close your eyes. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. You're crazy. Think about this. Close your eyes and ask yourself, can I see myself being a chef? Do I enjoy cooking? Do I enjoy the flavors of cooking and eating and do the textures and can I see myself, visually see myself being a chef? If the answer is no, that is something you would not put on that list. But there is something that you would put on that list, right? I just proved to you that there is something that you have in mind that you absolutely would not put on that list. But if you're someone that said, yes, I would put chef there, good. Now let's try it out. That's a lane now that we can start exploring with. And let's create a plan around how we're going to now incorporate this new thing that we want to try and see if it's for us. To this takes intentionality, because we're pursuing purpose. We're not just saying, oh, we know we have a purpose and we're just going to continue to live our lives in the same way. We're saying, no, I have a purpose. What is it? I'm going to pursue what I believe to be is the thing that I was created to be. And I'm not going to stop till I figure out what that thing is. But with God's grace and wisdom, He's not going to take you 80 plus years into the future and saying, now you've discovered your purpose because you pursued it for 80 years. Like, I hope not, God. That would be terrible. As long as you're pursuing your purpose, I believe that it's also pursuing you. And so if chef is that thing for you, friend, because I know that it is not. When I close my eyes and I ask myself, what can I see myself doing? Chef is nowhere on that list. It is as far as it could be from that list. Okay. Like, not even close. I want to give y'all something else to try. Let me give y'all something else to try. Because I really think the fear part is a big part that keeps us not doing anything. Literally just staying on the wheel of doing what we do every single day, but not actually trying at life. When it comes to your fears, I want you to write them down. I want you to write down, what am I actually afraid of happening if I do this thing? What are my fears around pursuing purpose, around being who I believe God has created me to be? What am I afraid of? Who am I afraid is going to see me doing the thing? Because that was my thing. Oh my God, people are going to actually see me doing the thing. It's like, wow, okay, good. Hopefully that inspires them to do their thing too. Like, that's like a plant saying, oh my God, I'm afraid of who's going to see these new leaves that I've grown when I was created to birth these leaves. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. That's what I want y'all to get to the point where you start to look at your fears and be like, this doesn't even make any sense. I'm afraid of something that makes no sense. Let's call a thing a thing. That fear is ridiculous. So now that you've called it ridiculous, you've disempowered that belief and that fear that you were holding in here that was keeping you stuck. And you can now move in purpose and say, I don't care who sees it. I hope the whole world sees this. Me at my amateur moment, my inexperienced self, me still figuring it out. I hope they see it because they'll see me journey through and where I'll be as long as I stay consistent at pursuing my purpose. So right now it may look away to people who know you or don't know you, but in its time and quite naturally, as I'm consistent at the thing, it's not going to look the same way. And that's on purpose. And that's not just for me, that's for anybody listening. So call those fears out. Tell Debo to go somewhere before I get this brick. Okay. Oh my God. I can't believe I used a Friday reference. That's crazy. I really do hope this encourages you to pursue your purpose because you do have one. If anything, I want you to take from this video is that you do have a purpose and you were created on purpose. Whether you believe it or not in this moment doesn't make a difference. You wouldn't be here breathing and listening to this video if you did not have purpose. So, and I fully believe that and stand 10 toes down on that without even knowing who you are. So, and with that, I also believe if you make a decision today, right now, to pursue purpose and give God something to work with and really be intentional with your pursuit, you will get the things that you desire. You will see the fruit in your life of your work. You will see it. Trust me, you see it, guarantee it. Try it. I hope this helps somebody. I hope this blessed your whole life. If it did, share the blessing. Share the blessing. Who are we to keep a blessing to ourselves? Share the blessing to all the folks you think that it would actually help, seriously. Who you also believe have purpose and just needs a, I don't know what that was, but they need that in the spirit on getting back to pursuing the thing that's in their heart that they know that they're called to do. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a review. I say this every week and I'll continue to say it until I get my first review. As usual, thank you guys so much for watching the show. If you've made it this far in the episode, you should consider subscribing because we've spent time together. You know, I've invested in you, you invest in me. Like, it doesn't have to be transactional, but like, especially if this is not your first episode, like I want commitment. Like, consider subscribing. And for those of you listening on audio right now, you're dope. Because if you're folding laundry, if you're washing dishes, if you're working out, if you're in the car, like that's so dope that you just have me like playing in the car or in your headphones. Like, hey girl, hey friend. If you're a man, I'm sorry. What's up? I be forgetting, like men could actually watch this, listen to this too. So yeah, I'm wrapping now. Okay, I'm gonna go. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Peace.